Guys, today we'll talk about how to create multiple response functions or variables in SPSS. For this, I have taken this example. What services did you receive during ANC? All check all that apply. So this is question number 5 given in our questionnaire. So when we create multiple response variables, we need to create each and every option that we are given in this question as a separate sub question. So the very first option that we are given is blood or urine test. So we label this as 5A and we will make it either 1 or 0. If someone has gone through identified this problem while receiving blood test or urine test, that person will mark it yes. And the person who did not go through this test will mark it 0. So when we enter the data, we will in fact label it or code it as 1 and or 0. So how do we do this? So first of all, I'm going to create this variable. I'll tell you how to do it in SPSS. So in SPSS, we go for to variable view, and here I am creating a variable that is 5 question number 5a, and its label is 5 underscore a. Sorry, because we are not allowed to directly use the numeric character. So question 5a, I am labeling it as, and the question has option blood or urine test. So we label it as blood and urine. Okay. And how do we do this? We go to values. When someone says yes, we label it as 1. Value is yes. Value is 1 and label is yes. And value is 0 and label is no. So this is how we can create first variable. So for the second option, we'll create it as a separate variable as question 5b, and its description is ultrasound. So we label it as ultrasound. And what we do, we need not to enter the values 0 and 1 again separately. Instead, what we do, we go to this cell, the previous value cell, we click on this button, right click inside the button, copy and then paste. So this is how we do this. Similarly, question 3, 5C. Question 5C. The third option for this is tetanus vaccination. So we label it as tetanus vaccination, so that when we get an output, we'll get complete description of each category and its related analysis. Then question 4C, 5D. Then this is iron and folic acid supplements. So iron and folic acid supplements. Again, we do the same thing, right click, copy in the previous value cell and then click on the current cell and paste. The next option is nutrition counseling. So this is question 5E. The option is nutrition counseling. Nutrition counseling. Again, we copy the options and paste it in the current cell. Then question 5F we have, and that's breastfeeding counseling. And again, we go for the options, copy, and then paste. And then the last option we have as other. And other, we specify we don't know anything about that. No? So we need to, after clearly observing the data we have collected, we will collect from the respondents, then identify some additional options. Right now, what I'm doing, since we are not given any clear guidelines that the respondents fill with which option this other category, we will take it as single 5 question 5G. Okay, and if we have other options specified in other categories, multiple options, uh, then we need to create for each separate option. Let's suppose 3 more options we are given, or we have got on the basis of respondents that uh, on the basis of responses that we get from the respondents. So we have to create 3 more variables or more categories as 5G, 5 H, 5I, like this. Okay. Over here, I'm just simply using other. And again, what I will do, I will do this. Okay. So this now I have created this, and what I'm doing right now, I will take a file as an example. I have already created a dummy file with the name or title multiple responses. We have to drop this down because the file is in Excel. So this is multiple response file for 150 respondents that I have created randomly. So this is the file that we have got. And now you can see when we open the file, the variable names are not there. So at the rate is automatically coming. So first column is of the for the number of respondents, which is 150, I believe. Yeah. And these are the randomly created or generated data that I'm using right now. And over you can see that 5A marked as yes, 5C is marked as yes, 5D is marked as yes, and 5E has also marked as yes. Okay, so analyze. Over here we have a category of multiple responses. Now what we need to do, we need to create a multiple response variable. For this, we need to follow this path, define variable sets. Then what we do, we select all variables that we have in fact created over here except the respondents, and move it to variable in sets area. Since we have in fact considered or entered the counted value as 1, so we need to enter counted value as 1. And over here we can name it as multi response Q5 because that's for question number 5, and the same label we can give over here or whatever we like. And you see when you enter the variable, this is variable name and variable label, this area is activated, add button is activated. Now we click add, and now we close this. And now when we again go for analyze multiple responses, over here we get the 2 fields automatically activated which were not activated previously, named as frequencies and crosstabs. If you would like to know the frequencies of each category or multiple response, so this is the area where we move the variable, and we click OK or paste. Paste we know will move us to the syntax file. If you want to maintain syntax file, that's okay. If you do not want to maintain or would like to see the output directly, so you can go click OK. And these are the responses out of total 593 responses, not 150. See, because we have given to the respondents to select variety of categories or more than one categories among them. So the total responses are not 150 but 593 because some of the respondents have chosen multiple categories over here. So 72 have chosen, which makes 12.5% in total out of this 593. 48% of cases this is making. Then 72 out of 150 makes it 48%. So this percentage is out of 150 and this percentage is out of 593. 81 and then 87 people or 73 respondents, 66 respondents, 65 respondents, and so on. So this is how we can perform multiple responses, frequencies for multiple responses. Furthermore, if you would like to go for further analysis, such as cross tabulation, we would like to see that how many respondents at the same time have chosen 5A, okay, and let's suppose 5B. And see over here, question marks are appearing. So we need to define the range within which we have done the coding. That's 0 and 1. Over here as well, 0 and 1. And then multiple response variable we'd like to see. So now see over here 5A and 5B, the intersection of 5A 5B we can get at how many people have chosen no for both 5A and 5B, that's 35. How many of them have chosen 0 or no for 5A but 1 for 5B is 43. How many of the respondents have chosen 1 for 5A or yes for 5A and no for 5B, that's 34. And how many people or respondents have selected yes for both 5A and 5B are 31, 38, sorry, 38. So this is how we can get the idea. Thank you. Bye for now.